Just a super duper welcome to you. How we doing, everybody? How are you, buds? It's Boomer, it's Warner, it's Pinder here on Barn Burner today. Looking forward to the show today because I'm not sure what it's going to be. I know that myself caught a little bit, running around, had some stuff to do this morning, which usually I'm kind of in here. I'm getting set. I got my Betway bets. Okay, what are we gonna do? I've got everything kind of figured out. Had to do a school run today. Printer decided it's not working today.
You had toner issues before. Now you got printer issues.
No, there's been no issues with this printer. It's been absolute money since I
Okay.
bought it like 2-3 years ago. Then just today, hello printer. It's no connecting to the printer. Oh, all right.
Wow.
So I need to do some installing or some drivers or
We gotta
something.
install some drivers.
No,
Mini driver. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
What was she at Mini Driver?
No. not really.
She was in. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. She was the girl at the bar.
Who was the one in with Clint Eastwood, the boxer? What was her name?
Oh yeah, that's not it. Yeah, with the $1 Million Baby.
$1 Million Baby. Oh, what a movie!
Well, and she
Not
won Best
Fran-
Actor for that.
Not Fran Drescher.
Right.
Weiss, Rachel Weisz.
Rachel.
Oh, that movie got me. No spoilers, but
Yeah,
damn it,
there you
Hilary Swank.
Hillary Swank. There it is.
Then who am I thinking of? Rachel Weisz.
Well,
Like a
there is an
little-
actress by the name
Yeah.
of Rachel Weisz.
Yeah. Anyway,
Can I
darn
go
it.
back to your printer?
Sure.
Let's get real here. You're not going to upload or download or switch or swap. You're going to get new.
No.
It's like all this electronic stuff. They've got a drop dead date
Yeah, they
baked
just suck.
into it.
We've had a couple computers here that already have done that.
Yeah. So as soon as you cross a certain
You
threshold,
think so? I feel like it's not that old, and I
Oh,
don't think it's being overworked.
just
like
old enough.
Couple sheets here and there. Couple sheets here and there. Anyway, but I do like new stuff. I love stuff.
Yeah, you do actually. It's
But I've been on a bit of a stuff thing lately. Gonna have
What
to just
kind
pump
of
the brakes.
stuff?
You know what? Well, I told you the other day, new lawnmower. Pretty excited.
right.
Pretty excited. Also, new pressure washer.
Oh, look at you, eh?
Oh.
Yeah.
You can do some washing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, hey,
What are you gonna
ho.
wash?
The outside windows, very dirty, very dusty.
The patio
The,
furniture, Dean. You got to get it clean before you put the
yeah.
pillows on it.
The patio's got to get some clean in the driveway, the
Yeah.
garage floor from all
I
the
don't wanna
winter
sound like
slop and muck.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but last
No.
night I was at a outdoor soccer game and it was mint out, like gorgeous.
Hey, Dick.
Brings me to the
Shut up.
furniture stuff where you want to get it out. Calgary, right?
Yeah, you can.
Let's go. It's gorgeous in March. I'm getting it out. I gotta get it out.
Yeah, don't get it out.
Don't
Nope.
just
Once we get past May long, fellas, green light, and you're going to be teased and tricked before
Even
then.
then,
But this is not new. Every year here,
Yeah, even then, it's like, May long. Am I good now?
it's going to
Christ,
snow
no,
at May long,
June.
and then that's get it out of your system. We're basically like a month and a half from Stampede. Let's go.
Yeah. But no, I've been too much stuff. Gotta just pump the brakes.
never
So,
too much stuff.
just gonna
You're
have
North
to-
America. We're a consumer goods country.
We're hoarders, yeah.
hoard.
Actually,
I'm finding shit in our garage. Like we still have a 2-kid stroller. My fucking boys are 8. We have
Oh,
a
yeah.
stroller in the garage. What are we doing?
Have we talked
Well, we have
about
to wait
this?
till spring. No, you don't. I can
No.
get rid of this in minutes.
No, because the garage is very useful in the winter.
Oh,
And you can't be outside.
Yeah.
Have we talked
guys-
about garages and stuff?
I can't
I
talk
live-
about it because I'll
I-
get
Because I
blood
live
red
with
mad.
someone that has stuff and likes stuff. Lots of stuff.
What I
The
should
person
do.
that collects the stuff is out of the house, and on
Purge.
our kitchen counter, Christmas cards.
Oh,
Mhm.
how old?
Well, Christmas.
Since Christmas.
So just this
Probably.
year's. Okay, there's worse
This
than that.
year's Christmas cards.
Yeah.
Say if it's a decade, we got major issues here.
Then
but
the other
this
day,
year, yeah.
I was in the garage, and I'm like, "Have we lived here since like the children were born?"
So much
Because
shit.
the amount of shit that we've accumulated in a year is staggering.
Yeah, not what are you, a year and a half?
Yeah. Stunning how much stuff we got. Because guess what, Dean and Ryan, and all you great listeners, the house in the province of Alberta,
Also full.
it was never emptied. We left with two hockey bags and a wheelie luggage bag.
You didn't take your furniture.
Being chased.
Oh, it stayed.
Oh, there.
Yeah. And when I picked you up there the other day, and just looking in the garage, lots of stuff in there too.
Plenty of stuff.
Yeah, 3-car garage, room for one. We can maybe sneak one in there. The more space you have, you're going to fill it. I'm sure there's a scientific thing. There's probably animals do the same in their dens or whatever.
Yeah.
But our basement, which is finished, but may as well not be,
right?
Because it's just full of stuff.
Storage.
I would show you, but I'm honestly too embarrassed to show you.
Have I taken a picture of Rob Ray's garage?
Ooh, you had the one of him gardening in his underwear. That one went over well.
Right? This would be right up your alley.
Really?
See
He's probably is he organized?
He's a hoarder. He's got a
walkways through the
maze.
boxes,
There's if you stay single file, you can weave your way into the house. It's something.
Oh. Okay, you guys know my wife. Does she seem to you like a camper?
No.
We have tents. I found a fucking flutterboard the other day. I'm like, what are we doing? Are you teaching swimming in 1986? You got a flutterboard? What the hell are we doing with a flutterboard?
Yeah.
Everyone listening, I drive by this every day. There's a fire hall I have to drive by every day. And right on the sign, it says, hoarding kills. So
hoarding kills.
Now, how do they spell like WHOR?
Not hoarding. Hoarding.
Yeah.
I'm big into hoarding. But what happened here is we had kids first. So out of her sisters and friends and stuff, we had the kids first. So we buy the clothes, but then inevitably there's a boy or girl, depending, then they hand me down the clothes. And then those clothes go down. And then we have more kids. So then their kids hand stuff down. So it's a thrift shop in my GD basement. And it's just bags and bags. Boy aged, 5 to 7. Boy, 10 to 12. Boy,
put that right on the street. Honestly, just put that on
probably
the street.
Do a lot of good for someone with all this inflation.
And in fairness, every once in a while it will get handed down as it's supposed to, but I really don't I don't know that we're really in a spot where my nephew is going to be running around in ragtag clothes or with, a garbage bag if he doesn't get these clothes.
Every year, and I keep it on purpose. Every year in the garage, the shoveler decided when we moved in, we did a big reno, right? And they had door handles and cabinet
the old
handles.
Hardware.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to sell that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got a bag of this stuff, and I keep it on purpose, and then set it out once a year. Just
what's even the best is, well, you know what? We've got all this stuff. Well, we'll donate it. Yeah. We've been keeping it for quite, but it's really good. We'll donate it, and then you take it to donation, and they'll say, we can't take.
There's 3 items in here. We can use the rest. We're just gonna.
It's like, really? So it's not even. So it is just garbage. Okay, all right, trash it is. And I had the best of intentions for down there. I went and when there was a sale on, so I went and bought a whole bunch of big black Rubbermaid bins. It's like, you take one and you take one. You can keep some stuff, but it's all we're getting rid of it and we're cutting it down. And the bins are sitting down there and the lids are right there. And I think maybe we'll get to it someday. But now the bins are just in the goddamn road. So it's that kind of a day. So we got a hockey game tonight. We're going to talk about here the breaking news. No Austin Matthews confirmed out.
Yeah,
he hurt, baby.
He hurt.
Yeah,
sad music.
Oh yeah, please, Dean, if you don't mind.
He's really not taking this Coyotes to Utah thing well.
No,
I guess
right in the feels. Yeah,
his whole life plan has just fallen apart.
Yeah. That would have been something, right? If he did go
Frickin'
free
Morello.
agency. I'm so excited to sign here in Phoenix. This is great. What, Mullet Arena? What, we're 5,000 seats? Oh, okay. Utah?
Oh,
Go to fucking Utah.
I've made a terrible mistake. Yeah.
that would have been this summer if he didn't. Yeah, Treliving's first bit of work last year was that.
Getting them done.
Okay, Austin, you write down a number and we'll give it to you because really we have to leverage.
Yeah.
You're the
How
best
much do you
scorer of our
want?
lives. You and Ovi.
What's that? The max? Oh,
Write it,
well,
write it down and
You want to know what it is, or that's what you want? Oh, that's what you want. Okay, well, I'll talk to our CBA.
Max
guy.
Domi, I can get him. Oh, geez. Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. So I guess T's and P's to the Leafs. So now listen, they
won't get five without him. Come on.
They staved already without him.
Yeah.
Just do it again. And then win again. Nothing more to it.
Yeah, just win 2 in a row after you won the 1 in a row.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just you've won one. Now just win another one and then another one. So we had some, well, I guess it can't be staving in a 2-2 series.
No, sure can't, Dean.
No.
It's certainly a different feel, that series, though. I remember
Yeah, it's
watching
flipped,
the games
hasn't
in Dallas, where I was like, Jesus, these Knights are really controlling the play.
Mark
I
Stone
watched
scored
last-
his first shift in the playoffs. You're like, these assholes are going to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Hannafin firing in pucks. So 3 straight wins for the Dallas Stars is where it is now. And now the Golden Knights. What's going to happen is poor Connie, he's going to get screwed out of all these picks. Because you needed Vegas, Vegas to win a round, and now they won't win a round. And then you needed Dallas to go all the way to the Cup final, and they'll probably lose in the Western Conference
I
final.
need Vancouver to get to the West final, but they got to beat Edmonton to do that after they beat Nashville. That's a tall task if they don't have Demko. Potentially, don't get them all. You also still could get 2.
How can you get 2 with the Vancouver one, or what?
If Vancouver loses to Dallas in the West final, you'd get a pair of picks conditionally. You'd have the Vancouver 4th turn to a 3rd, and the bonus Dallas 3rd would activate if they beat Vancouver.
You know, I keep forgetting about the Vancouver one. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a 4th that turns into a 3rd. It's not a huge deal. And even the second rounder, it's not this year, it's next year from Vegas versus their 3rd this year. And if they flame out in round 1, that's actually going to be the middle of the round. Yeah, it's not as big as I think you'd hope it would be.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
Read this morning that there's been 3 wins, count them, 1, 2, 3 for the Dallas Stars. And then each game, the game-winning goal has come from a player aged 24 or younger. The 20-year-old Wyatt Johnston got the winner in game 1. Ty Dellandrea, 23, scored in game 2, if you off his pants and in or whatever it was. And then Jason Robertson, the 24-year-old, scored the game winner last night. So there's some youth. Yeah, there's some youth, and they're making an impact. Are the Dallas Stars?
It's a good team.
They are a good team.
Everyone had them dead down 0-2, and you're like, still a good team, but that is 2 losses. I don't know. Like, no one would be surprised if Vegas won the next one. We get 7. We need a 7. Give us 7, please. 1 7, just 7.
Go
2
7.
7.
7. The Stars, when the Dallas Stars have been in a 2-2 series and then have won game 5, they've won 13 of those 15 series.
Yeah, and all time it's 79%. The winner of game 5 when it's 2-2.
I heard that in 03.
They had that on the screen the whole night on ESPN. I don't know what they were trying to. Sorry, what was that, right?
Just letting people know. Mickey Stankoven was great yesterday as well. Yeah, not a bad dish.
He's
over to Dadonov for the so yeah, they're good. Good for them. I don't know. I'm not necessarily against Vegas. It's now, and I have this kind of written down on what now the handwritten notes today because it's not printed. Even though I typed some of it.
That's tough.
Apparently, it's better for your brain, though.
Writing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what it is. If it comes down to retention, for me, writing it way better than any
muscle memory, baby. Yeah. Well, the other thing,
make sure your kids in school are using laptops.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah, because first off, like he's calling the computer in here the cancer machine, and then he also, I imagine, breathing near a toner, and then that's a no-no in Rhett's book.
You should
right?
ask if all the Silicon Valley honks send their kids to schools that use laptops and computers. Do some research.
Come on now.
Do some research, people.
Do some research. Google it. I have written down here at the top of the sheet And this will be for McLeod Law. This will be our game, taking a look. It's our opening statement, some game review action from last night. McLeod Law, Peter Klein, our buddy, personal injury guy. He's also the go-to guy for your disability insurance claim. If the disability insurance company's giving you the old
run around,
what are you guys doing? Are you
little chicanery boom? What's going on here?
What's going on here? Some tomfoolery?
Yeah.
Then get Peter Klein on your side. He will go to work and get those benefits paid to you, along with a little bit of peace of mind. You paid for them. You deserve them. You should get them. And that's why Peter will go to work for you. McLeod-law.com. Peter Klein and everybody over at McLeod Law. Great people and great at what they do.
Yeah.
I have written down at the top of my sheet, Oilers, is what I have here.
Oilers, is there a comma? ... Yeah. Okay.
Oilers, this coming from the perspective of maybe somebody who would not like to see the Oilers fare very well.
I don't know any of those people in this market.
They win in 5 games. McDavid and Draisaitl was tremendous the last 2 games. He was a force.
He's passing, he's hitting, he's scoring, he's embellishing calls.
He's all over
plays. He's doing it all, guys.
Over it. Power plays clipping along at about 45%. And what's great about that is last night the power play went 1 for 5.
Right.
But the one Draisaitl goal comes 4 seconds after the power play ends, and the Hyman goal 3 seconds after the power play ends. So, we're in probably north of 50-ish, 50.
Yeah, 50 for sure.
Yeah.
If you go 3 for 5 last night, because it was 50 coming in, wasn't it? Or better.
Your goaltender looks to be 2.59, a .910 save percentage. You've won.
Jeez.
How do you want to play? You want to blow it wide open? All right, let's win 7-4. Let's win 6-1. Oh, you want to tighten things up? Well, we can win a 4-3 game like we did last night. And if you want to lock it right down, how's a 1-0 win for you? So they
can do that against the Kings. I believe that. I saw it. I see Rhett moving his head in a certain direction. I do wonder if they have the ability to lock it down against the Dallas, Colorado type.
I actually, if I could take my hatred out of it, Colorado, Edmonton would be.
What a series.
Oh,
fireworks.
Let's just open the gates. Let's go.
Yeah. Last goal wins.
Yep. LA's not a challenge for Edmonton, just like the Jets weren't a challenge for Colorado. And I don't see Dallas is good, but I don't see Nashville or
if Vancouver had Demko, I'd certainly put a little more stock in their ability to be difficult.
Not how they've been playing either. Like Pettersson's not going Miller, like they're not scoring like they should. Anyway, I think Edmonton's going to be too good for either of those two teams.
The other factor is the rest, Rat. They're sitting there watching. So is Colorado. These other
That's
series.
part of my ...
Yeah,
is I'm not sure that Nashville or Vancouver, maybe Vancouver. I'm not sure if either of those teams will serve up much more of a opposition than the LA Kings did.
Nashville looks very similar to LA. They've got a better goaltender, but they can't keep up.
Yeah, and Vancouver, you're going to have to start firing. They've looked too flat, and maybe that's just something about the matchup with Nashville because it's not really the way they played all year.
No,
but I think it would be silly to expect Demko to be back or even close to 100 if he is.
No chance. That's what you got. So yeah, it's
so Colorado, Edmonton. That's going to be good.
Yeah, and you could spin to me that Vegas or Dallas could beat Colorado in a series, but the longer that one goes and the longer Colorado's got their feet up, the more I like the Avs.
You better hope Colorado gets fat and sassy sitting around.
FNS.
The thing about that is, though, fellas, we're going to have to spend another 2 weeks if this all comes to fruition, watching the Oilers win hockey games. And everybody getting a little bit more loud and more boisterous and more cocky and arrogant.
As long as they don't get through and win it all, it's fine.
I know.
I know. Yeah, they could lose in 7 of the Stanley Cup final. That's a win in Calgary.
That's a win. That is.
If somehow the McDavid era ends without a Stanley Cup, that is a win for the city of Calgary. I'll have a parade. I'll host one.
I know you will. Yeah,
you're invited, Dean.
Leave your house. Looking at the LA Kings, Kempe 4 goals, 5 points in the 5 games. Byfield 4 helpers, but no goals, and then it just. It fell off Fiala had a goal.
Old
LaFerriere and
L3 or whatever the hell his name is.
Pierre-Luc Dubois, 5 games, 1 goal, no helpers.
Oh, was he bad?
And non-existent.
4 shots in 5 games.
I'm trying to remember how this guy was a powerful force in the league because I just see someone floating the whole night.
He played that series against Toronto in the bubble.
Columbus,
I believe
yeah.
it was. He was a force, an absolute force.
Just like I know he was good. I'm trying to imagine what it looks like. Like he must have just been this wrecking ball, this power forward, winning puck battles, hustling. And then you watch him and you're like, God, this looks like men's league. Like he is just floating. No urgency. Down a goal, series on the line. Maybe I win the race, maybe I don't. Who's to say?
Yeah. Fat and sassy.
You know what? I more like Pierre-Luc Dubois, if you're asking me. That's kind of
trademark that,
right? I mean,
sell those tees.
Get some shirts made. You could get those sold in LA.
PL Dubois. Yeah. I would.
And then he's just like,
I don't know, yeah. Oh, because my name's Dubois and it rhymes, so it's whatever.
I don't really care about the shirt or hockey or anything. Brutal.
$8.5 million per season.
Right, but it's a short term, is it not?
Ends in 30-31.
Okay.
It's
so bad. The hockey rumor websites, which are never right, are even like Dubois for Huberdeau. That's how bad this has gone in LA. That's even being bandied about.
Now, question, because the 8-year deal kicks in this year, so this is year 1. Starting next year, and for each of the 4 years, there's a no move clause. And then in the final 3, it's a modified no move. He does not have a no move clause in the 23-24 season.
Hello, minors.
Can you trade him before? Because I'm guessing
who wants him? That's where we start.
The
answer is nobody. So then, what are you taking back to get rid of him?
You would do Huberdeau for him?
Would you?
Sure, you would.
Probably just for the cap
savings.
Yeah. And so now LA is like, oh, we have to make cap space for this deal to go through to take on a player that's equally disappointing. It's problem for problem.
I would say this about Huberdeau. He hasn't performed and he's never going to up for that money. But I don't know if we've been disappointed in Huberdeau, but I don't know if we'd be as disappointed as if you were a Kings fan watching PLD.
We would be, here's a word, apoplectic.
Yeah.
Good word.
Because I think it's not just the fact that he's not getting points. It's just the way he carries himself, what's happening in the room.
The room hates him.
Wow, yeah, you heard the quotes all season, and it felt like everything was pointed at that guy.
And he's played on more than one team and done it.
And
right?
Basically, he's good.
Huberdeau got moved from Florida, fell on his face, doesn't look good. Maybe you'd go, well, he's going to get us 50 to 60 points. And maybe if he gets more vitamin D in LA, things are okay. He could drive his front, right? Like, maybe there's still PLD has done enough damage to his name and his brand that anyway.
PLD had, now we were unhappy with the Huberdeau points. What did he get to this year?
He ended up with 52.
52.
Less than last year.
Yeah.
But many of those 52 coming in the second half of the season.
PL Dubois in 82 games, played all 82, had 16 goals and 40 points.
More.
And a -9. And you look around, there's Danault plus 12, Doughty plus 15, Byfield plus 19, Dubois -9.
Dubois.
So, and because that's the other thing, you probably you wouldn't do that deal
if you were
the Flames. You would say
considerably younger, but the Huberdeau is not one thing right now, and that's a problem in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's a big piece. I think Huberdeau can be a middle 6 winger. You just have to ignore the salary. I don't know what Pierre-Luc Dubois can be, except the problem because his effort isn't there. At least Huberdeau was going through the motions of trying.
It does. Exactly. I would say that I don't like Huberdeau's production and I didn't like the deal and I got lots of problems with him, but I don't get the feeling that everyone in the room is disgusted by him.
No. And again, the second half of the year that we just watched is his best half of a season in Calgary. If he can stretch that over a full campaign, now we're talking about a 60 to 70 point player.
And even if you were looking to make it, you're hoping maybe some way down the road you can. Anyway. This isn't the deal you want to get done. This is probably not the return.
It feels a lot like Lucic Neal, where it's like, look, these are two problems, and we could swap them. But we could argue for years about who actually got the better out of that. I don't like. Sure, you could, but are you further ahead, or are you still a team with a problem?
And I think I know the answer, but with Huberdeau's second half, like December or before December, it was like, go sit in the stands. We don't need
even December at one point. After that's kind of where you get going a bit.
So anyway, so with his second half, do you not feel like, let's squint? Come on, everybody. Let's really squint hard here, because maybe, just maybe, we're talking about a 65-point guy. Do you have any belief how do you say it, Dean?
Dubois. Yeah.
Dubois. Do you have any thoughts that that's happening with him?
No.
Yeah, just as you didn't last year this time with Huberdeau, right? So what you would hope is that
was Huberdeau's first year of failure.
Yeah, I feel like
he was a point per game player for 5 years in a row before he got to Calgary. It was not just
he hadn't one big year. He hadn't whined his way or burned his bridges or complained about. I mean, he was in Florida on a first place team, so maybe hard to complain. But
they didn't. Yeah.
Dubois did that in 2 spots prior. I got to get out of here. I'm too good for here. Oh, no, next place. I'm too good for here. I need money and sun.
Yeah, Dubois did it twice.
I want nothing to do with that guy.
Yeah, nothing.
Unless I phone him and say, "How's your back?" and he says, "Stabbing pain."
God, I wouldn't believe how much pain I'm in. Yeah,
my sciatica.
Everything's off. Then maybe.
Dubois had 27 goals and 63 points last year. And again, like the year before in Winnipeg, 28 and 60. I'm not saying he'll ever get back there again, but all the skills to do it are still there. Do you want to be the psychologist here that tries to fix him? Because the tools are all still there.
The problem for me was that I thought, okay, he's going to have a shitty year and he's not maybe what you want, but damn it, when the playoffs start, he's going to step it up.
He's 25, and this is the worst year of his career. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
He's played 7 years in the league because he played as an 18-year-old.
It's the worst year of his career.
In his theoretical age prime.
You can't do it, right? You can't roll the dice. Just be like you say. It seems like it's fairly established between Columbus and Winnipeg and LA that he is not a well-liked person. And when you have that shit in your locker room, it can just torpedo the whole thing. Especially when that's a guy that's supposed to be if he's your third or fourth liner or whatever, it's like, okay, guy's a dick, but whatever. He plays 9 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Not when you're expecting him to lead you to the promised land.
Yeah, that was.
And he's not doing it, and he's an asshole. So I feel bad. Now maybe he is a nice guy. We're just kind of so to Mr. Dubois, if in fact you are a nice person, and these are just erroneous.
You got
rumors.
some kids' clothing for him if you ever.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff for you. All kinds of stuff.
And so you again, it's not an absolute no-fly zone, but you're probably just in the spot you're in, trying to get rid of a contract.
See, a lot of teams have it. It's not a one-team thing. It happens in a lot of markets.
Yeah,
I paid player.
2/3 of teams are wasting about $10 million spent poorly.
Yeah, you just look at it that way. That's how
every team's got $10 million. That's your dumb decision pile cost you $10 million.
Yeah.
Whether that's your James Neal buyout or your Connor Brown $3 million signing bonus or Jack Campbell 4 in the minors, like every team's spending that money.
Yep. I wonder what they'll do, because I believe Jim Hiller is the interim. I wonder what they'll do for a coach there.
They'll hire someone else, is my guess.
Yeah.
The real question is not the coach. It's that Rob Blake's contract, I believe, is either up or he's got 1 year left. They'll make a decision on him, and then the new GM or Rob will make the coaching decision. You don't do the coach before the GM, right?
Do you feel a little bit shitty because the Dubois thing is going to haunt Rob Blake right now. Like everyone's
for sure.
what
It is,
an idiot.
It sunk
But
his battleship this year.
You know what I mean? But you had a kid that, what you said, 65 points, and is saying, wasn't he saying basically, I want to get to LA?
Well, I just think if you're the GM of the LA Kings and someone's not happy in Winnipeg, you're like, perfect. Bring him in here. Everyone loves LA. Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't like playing in LA?
That's my point, is that he's going to get roasted for this deal. And I don't think it has a damn thing to do with him. I mean, maybe you could research the character of the kid, but
you'd have to, yeah. It's just that I don't know that anyone saw this happening this way.
And the other part of it is so you brought Dubois in, and he's not worked for you, and you signed him to this extension, and that's horrible. You got fleeced in a trade. This isn't a free agent that you signed and is bombing.
Yeah.
You gave away some like Dreger said the other day, if you trade Gabe Vilardi for PL Dubois, you're still losing the deal, but you also gave 2 more players and a pick.
It was a second rounder, then Kapari and Iafallo as well. Those are very useful parts. Never mind Vilardi, it looks like he's blossoming into a star, albeit the guy that's always had health issues, and yes, had health issues, but yeah, it's an absolute landslide for Cheveldayoff. It's just, you would have thought Dubois is unhappy in Winnipeg. That's rock bottom. And if rock bottom is 60 points and 27 goals, wait till he's happy here. And he found a new layer of unhappiness or lack of productivity in a spot where he really was set up to succeed. Their depth down the middle is insane.
I probably shouldn't touch this or bring it up. What's going on off ice?
I think that's a huge piece of this, because like I noted, and we all understand, all the physical tools are still there to be a 30-goal, 65-point wrecking ball, 6'4", 225-pound power forward that plays the middle. It's all still there. He's 25. What the hell's happening away from the rink?
Yeah.
Hard to imagine it's nothing.
Yeah. Kind of hard to imagine it's nothing.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
And so if you really wanted to take it on, you better have the best, between the ears coaches in the league. Because that's where this lies.
Yeah.
Give a fuck meters broke.
Or just hire some super sleuths to figure it out,
Or someone to break his back. Get Tanya Harding on the case. Lead pipe.
Wonky back. Yeah.
I'll do it.
All LTIR.
A couple bucks. Free tickets.
Rat gets free tickets or taking out a kneecap.
Because aside from him, you'd probably be very happy to be the coach of the LA Kings.
You need a goalie, but that's not that hard to find. A
lot of teams do.
Blakey's going to get a goalie, absolutely.
If Blakey's still there, he'll get a goalie for sure. I don't, Cam Talbot's, I think, going to be his 36-year-old
LA
year.
is coming on. I'm telling you, they got the flying taxis now, the flying cars. You don't have to worry about the traffic so much. LA is gold.
Who is it that owns the Kings? Is that Anschutz? Is that the
whole group owns the whole?
I think if I were old Pete Anschutz, I might be hey Blakey, as you call him. I'm just gonna just hand me the keys for a little bit. I'm just gonna hang on.
Enough is gonna move in.
He's on the business side, not the hockey side, but he's working for them.
Easy move.
Yeah,
because you know what, your boy in Buffalo did it. Kevin Adams is on the business side, right over to GM.
Yeah. I just don't want you. We just don't want you behind the wheel right now. We'll drive. Not sure I want Blakey doing much more there.
Pete Chiarelli available.
Goosh.
Jim Benning
don't
looking for work.
Poorly on LA, Ryan.
No, but they're in division and the league's better with idiot GMs. We know this, guys. We know this.
There aren't many though.
Not anymore. That's the problem.
Right, guys are smart
get
now.
Back.
I know. We need idiots back in.
I'm not convinced Dubas isn't an idiot. So time will tell.
Well, I mean, look, he built 100-point teams year over year, and they did nothing in the playoffs. There's worse GMs than that.
Listen, one of Austin guy in the room is a Penguins guy. So Jack, this Rhett's taking a run at Dubas. What are your thoughts?
Support.
Yeah, he's made some pretty awful decisions early on. The Jari contract I didn't like. They brought in Graves, overpaid him, and then he was a healthy scratch at the end of the year. I didn't mind the Carlson move.
Carlson wasn't bad this year.
Then you're an idiot.
Okay,
Letang was the problem.
Carlson had a good year, Rhett.
Yeah, but Letang was a problem because Carlson was there.
That's a theory. I mean,
these are things that I know.
Did Carlson being there help him turn over the puck in the third period against the Flames in that collapse? Like, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, because he wasn't used to playing as much, so he lost his touch.
Yeah, mental.
I mean, look what he inherited there. I like he's not built Pittsburgh.
Okay,
he's locked into an old core. What do you do
now? Again, I don't have to slap you across with
not
my
from
hat.
Buffalo. You can't. If you want to come to the studio, I'll take one.
I had to stop you yesterday in your tracks. Just say
2 days ago.
So was Carlson what the Oilers needed?
No, they have Bouchard, and
that's my point, Ryan. Is that what Pittsburgh didn't need was a Carlson-like player. They needed other things aside from right. You could have done other things with that cap space, and
because you know what it did. You had Letang, and then Carlson came in, and it wasn't he becomes Letang 2.0. It was Carlson who goes in, and then Letang becomes Carlson.
Regardless,
2.0.
He gets not how you structure your roster.
Yeah, and look, he inherited a roster that you don't want. Like that's the problem with that job that he took, right? You've got Malkin, Letang, Carter. Like it was an old folks' home, so it's like okay,
Carlson, he's old too.
That's my whole point. You're already going to be old and not good enough to make the playoffs. So what are you going to do?
So you shouldn't have doubled down with another old guy.
Or it's like, look, this is our window. We're going to suck if we're not good.
You are really confusing me. I love you. I love your
poetry.
Haircut.
It's poetry in motion.
Just playing both sides. No, look, I don't think
you bounce back and forth in the same sentence.
Explain.
You said Carlson was basically that was a great move.
No, I didn't say that at all.
And then you said he inherited a team that had a bunch of old guys.
No, but
adding Carlson was okay.
Like we had this conversation kind of with Tampa. It's like you're not going to move Crosby, you can't move Malkin, and you can't move Letang. Like those guys you're living with. And so if that team last year didn't make the playoffs, what do? You can't really strip it down.
Get Carlson?
Well, I don't think that's the best thing he could have done, but it's certainly not the worst because he makes he's adding to your ability to win games. It's just that you're in that shitty mucky middle.
You're really not saying anything.
Now here's the trade. They traded Jan Ruta, Mikael Granlund, Mike Hoffman, and a first.
The first is the only real asset of value there, right?
Right. So, because I mean, Hoffman, Granlund had been signed to a bad deal.
They got bad money out there
by the Burke Hextall group.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dollar for dollar, quality for what your assets are. It wasn't a terrible deal. It's probably a deal though that you didn't. That's not how you spend that first round pick. Right? Kind of like a Hubert. That's not what.
It's not the point of it. And the other thing, that was the best deal San Jose had. So you did right. Like they took that deal because that was the best one. I don't know who was all in on it. The whole point I'm making about the Carlson is that it was an unnecessary move with the assets. I don't even care. I mean, you don't like losing the first, sure, blah, blah, blah. It's not how you construct a roster. The issue that Dubas had in Toronto was roster construction. It's like he's copycatting and he's doing it again. And whether he inherited it or not, if you have foresight, you don't do it.
They weren't a Carlson away from winning a cup. I would never suggest that. I'm with you on that, Rhett, and I agree. It's not like slam dunk, we're back, baby. It was more just like, look at this pile of old fucking parts. I'll put one more on, and maybe we can squeeze out one more playoff year out of this crew. But they're not notably better, and they're still really bleeping mid. But they got rid of some bad Granlund money, and you probably want that first. But you got Sid there. Like you should be trying to turn these guys into something to help now. Like they're in a real tough spot. Like they're mediocre and Sid wants to stay there and they want to be competitive. I don't know how you do it.
Is San Jose eating money on that?
I believe they are.
Because it's a $11.5 million.
They got it down to 10. There's retention on it.
Yeah. So
he got a lot of to consider. You got a defenseman that had 100 plus points last year. Like the acquisition price was very low, but I do agree with Rhett that it was never a piece that you're like, aha, there it is. That's the winning team.
Yeah. But Letang really did fall off the table this year. I don't know. He's 37, has 4 more years.
And this is my whole point. You're fucked for the next 4 years anyway, right?
4 at 6.1. His back has got to be killing him.
And like that's longer term left than what Carlson's got on his deal.
You could have a lot of work out there, Rhett, if you wanted to get into the back business. The bad back business.
If you're gonna go full Harding, blow some discs, get out there.
Just go to the draft, start handing out business cards. Hey, have you got an issue that needs rectifying?
Repo man / back hurter.
Really? Hey, so what is it you do? Well, players seem to experience back issues shortly after a session or two with us.
I do a podcast with them. They walk out of there. Things are. It must be the chair.
Starts in the lumbar, moves its way up. Is there a guarantee? 18 months left, guaranteed on however long the deal is.
You know what it feels like? It kind of feels like when Treliving got the Johnny Leaves Kachuk ass out. Because what you've really done is you've doubled down on an old group that's not really ready to win, but you're like, well, we're already locked in anyway, so why not fire out a first and bring in Nazem Kadri?
Yeah, I understand it.
It's not a master stroke. I'm not suggesting it is.
I don't think it's
The only thing that Pittsburgh had was some Hall of Famers who
they already have jewelry.
Some of the best in the game of their era. Flames, I don't know had that necessarily. Anyway, so I just looking at the list of so we don't think necessarily that old Jimmy Boy Hiller will hang on to that gig. I have to assume that Winnipeg will move on now from Rick Bowness, don't you? I mean,
great year. He's going to be a finalist for that Jack Adams.
Yeah, but doesn't he? He had some things going on. I think he's got his own off.
He had some health issues. He left the team to deal with.
So
and his wife had issues as well. He is
one more year left at $3 million.
He'll be 70 years old in January, which is maybe neither here nor there. But I just wonder if that's a spot where you move on from him, or there's an amicable way of moving on there. I don't know. Drew Bannister was the interim in St. Louis. They missed the playoffs. Is that still to come? Where was Travis Green interviewing? I read somewhere that he was interviewing somewhere, and he's
Ottawa.
That's what it was. Yeah. And
while he's coaching, yeah.
What is the deal with Rod the Bod?
I brought it up. Owner, dude.
I brought it up to Frank, and he said no, he's not leaving Carolina, and he may not. He'll get 5%. But it just continues. The drumbeat is there that the owner does not like to shell out the dough. But of all the guys,
that's the
Rod the Bod.
Yeah,
I don't see anything happening there either. So
this is a classic negotiating thing where it's like, first you hear this panic report that it's not going to get done, and then you hear the owner quoted and you hear the GM quoted, and it's like, yeah, this is how you definitely get that extra $1 million to get you closer to market rate, because the owner's not paying you market rate for what you are, which is a top 5 coach in this league. Those guys get $4 to $6 million a year. Rod the Bod deserves more money than Dundon's giving him, and he's a former player. He's made a ton of money. He went to bat for his assistants last time his deal was up, because in the States, things like healthcare and salary is very important for assistants. I think Rod's done the org a lot of solids, and whoever's representing it, be it him or an agent, saying, okay, like, Tom, you've done really well here by Rod. It's time to level out the scales a little.
I'll bet Rod is the problem in a lot of ways, because I feel like Rod is a team guy first. So he's probably made enough money that he's like, I don't know what the hell. So I make 2 or 3 million. Like, it sounds silly to think that way, but he comes across as that type of person where he might go, well, I'll take 2 million, but the rest of these bastards better get another $100,000 at least. Right.
Yeah,
like, exactly. I could see him doing that. And Dundon ain't stupid enough. All you got to do is ask around the league this much to realize, as soon as Rod the Bod leaves, this great group of kids that you got, and how you're bringing guys in and they're happy to stay. Adios, muchachos.
And there are guys that are, entrepreneurs and self-made billionaires. They love the art of the deal.
They do.
We're getting.
And he was sort of, a lot of his things he talked about when he took over that team, because I think he was early in on Topgolf. He was just like, oh yeah, like some of the market rates for certain things in the league are just, they're not right. Like, they're not priced appropriately.
And he's probably,
so he might be drawing a hard line being like, if you say a really good associate or assistants were like, and I don't know the numbers, I'm making up like $600,000 for an associate, like a really well-established number 2 coach. You'd be like, oh, I don't think the next best guy in line that would do it for 300 is half as good. Like, I just think that's the market's wrong. I'm going to adjust that on my own. But Rod's basically saying, take care of my boys or I'm gone.
And don't you love that about that guy?
Of course. That's why they've been really, really good for a long time here. Like, they sneak into that Final Four seemingly every other year. Is this their year?
Okay, man, you guys, big brain Jay, man, you guys need to read some more hockey news. GM already came out and said he's hoping to get him extended, same as the damn Stammer. Oh, well, see, here's the thing, big brain. It doesn't fucking matter what the GM wants.
This is the
billionaire owner.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Don Waddell really wants to get him signed, so don't be stupid.
Well, he said it right in the media, Dean. Right in the media. Like he's going to lie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and Rod said that's sitting with Tom. He didn't say anything about the GM. It's basically a head coach owner.
The GM, Ryan, the GM already came out and look.
He'd like to get it done.
He's hoping to get him extended. Dude. You got, come on, man.
I'd like to have met Selma Hayek when I'm 25. We'd all like things, hey?
Just read it. Guys are idiots.
No sense us talking about it. It's right there in the hockey.
Right there in the comments section.
I'm gonna need you to read more.
Why take Darren Dreger's word for it? The comments are over here.
Same as the damn Stammer.
Damn Stammer.
Yeah. So, I mean, that does have the feel of, yeah, of course I'm going to pay him. But let's have some. This is how I get my jollies when I'm a billionaire. It's by negotiating contracts. I've talked to plenty of guys that are like, I never take the first offer. I never take the second offer. I always push, and it's never about the money. It's just because that's what I enjoy. That's where I get my juice from.
Yeah,
juice.
Make the first offer.
Never ever.
Never make the first offer, right, Red?
Forever ever.
Ever. What's cool to be cold? Ice cold.
Ice cold. So those are the opening statements.
A lot of statements there.
Cloud law. Yeah, cloud law.
I would like it if you guys would check the hockey news before we talk about things that are boring.
We should read more hockey news, stupid.
They are still in business, right?
I'm not sure. I think so.
I'm kidding. I went to their website the other day. They are online.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're at the airport shelf below the nudie magazines anymore. All that stuff's gone. Damn internet.
I've got who is this? I'm not sure, but I'm going to show you. I got some one of the fellas, the Barneys, reached out yesterday with some photos, and it says here, getting ready for the weekend, and it looks like some Origin has been brought in to help with the weekend. So this is the first shot is just got the kegs coming in. Now I don't know. I feel like when you're at home and you've got the keg set up, you're doing pretty well. So you see there's 2 Origin Brewing kegs.
Those little pony kegs, is that what they are?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't really have.
Those cylinders are very narrow. That's
very narrow.
They're not wide.
Yeah, very narrow.
It doesn't have the girth rat, but a lot of good beer in there.
Well, I wonder what what kind of beer is it? Is it
flavors that?
Is it the homegrown? Is it the raspberry? There we go. Little barn burner. Very nice. The barn burner blonde. Gonna have that on tap. Little Mexican lager.
Spring is in the air.
Yeah, that's a hell of a beer too.
That's a nice combo there.
And he's gone. He does his own little. It looks like he's doing some etching, some sketching in there, and now again, maybe this is at a place of business. Maybe this is at maybe it's a golf course or something. I'm not sure, but if this is at home,
Mr. Etchnikov, very well done here,
Mr. Etchnikov. I mean, you're set.
Holy shit, am I excited?
You're set for the weekend.
Where's our invite?
So I mean, it could be snowing all you want. I don't. Let's go.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a shame if you had to stay inside and watch playoff hockey on TV with good beer?
That'd be a bugger. So there you go. Origin, changing people's lives, getting out there. Appreciate you, bud.
That's
supporting Origin.
Boy,
might be some Origin news coming too, eh?
I've heard that too.
We're now into the month of May, getting close to summers. Could be something coming. I don't know.
Rumor mill.
Rumor mill should be chugging. The rumor mill be chugging.
Also, an event mid-May out in Strathmore. That,
Come on now.
Once it gets tightened up.
Yeah. How about it? Outdoor Dental, Dr. J. Patel. Dentistry with no needles, no drills, no stress. He invests. What we're going to do, we're just going to be the best. And is it going to take some time? Yeah. Is it going to take a big investment? Yeah, it is. But that's sometimes what it takes when you want to be the best. The Solea laser, the treatment, excellent solution for people who at the far reaches have phobias of the dentist, or if you just it's not my favorite thing in the world, the dentist, then this Solea laser is going to change the way your dental experience goes. As well, so you use it on your dental surgery and implants and that whole thing, but also for your snoring issues. You got some snoring? You snoring out there? You got that thing going? Go see Dr. J, because they take the laser and they work it on the soft palate, tightens things up, and 2 15-minute treatments, and you're going to be sleeping better. People around you are probably sleeping better quality of sleep. This is, and again, I don't know how they got there to kind of make the determination that I wonder if this will work on snoring. But they did, and it does, so that's great.
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of dummies talking about sports. It was probably some people smarter than us that figured that one out.
Yeah. So outdoor.dental is the website. Check it out. Go and have a consultation. Go and talk to them. Check out the website at the very least and see if this is something that could work for you, because we're betting that it does. Pinder, you've had it done, worked for you. We've talked to a number of people, quite a few people that have gone in there. Dr. J says, yeah, we've had some Barneys. Some of the fellas. We've had some of the fellas come.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. My wife is ecstatic. That's the real win.
Yeah. Well, your energy levels don't really lag. For most humans, when they don't get enough sleep, there's a dip. A dip in production and mood and all of that sort of thing. Not
That's
you.
Just a bad attitude, Dean. That's just quitters. Quitters quit.
Bad honeymoon suite. Outdoor.dental, Dr. J. Patel. Go there for your dental work. Talk to them about your snoring issues. 2 15-minute treatments for the snoring. You got that kind of time? Yeah, you got that kind of time. Check them out. Outdoor Dental. Pinder Report?
Let's get it.
You want to do it? What are you texting there, Red? What are you doing? Are you looking at hockey news?
He's texting something. I got a friend that's
Are you on the hockey news? Trying to find out
see what Dundon and
what Don Waddell was saying? Yeah.
Bragging about.
Yeah, that's right. The Pinder Report. It's a presentation of Village Honda, the CRV. No matter what the conditions, the CRV sits atop the pack among compact SUVs. Maybe you need the SUV. You want that all-wheel drive. You want something that's reliable and it's good. You're going to feel safe in it, but you don't want the big, massive SUVs. Well, the CRV, it's again atop the pack of the compact SUV field. You'll feel confident behind the wheel of your CRV. Honda has included a ton of driver safety features. They just come standard. It's not you're adding extra packages or this sort of thing. It's just Honda's taking care of you when you're behind the wheel, and the CRV is where it's at. You can take one for a test drive today. Go to the Northwest Auto Mall, Village Honda, and visit them online at villagehonda.com. And Village presents
The
Pinder Report.
That's the wrong song you played. You didn't play my music. A little heavier, Rhett?
I don't mind that.
Have a listen.
Welcome to the Pinder Report.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Pinder Report.
There's words. Hang on. Catch this.
This segment is full of shit. Pinder's reporting dumb facts or stats that are sick, showing internet clips of things that hurt, like taking a shot in the balls or a face full of dirt. It's the Pinder Report.
Welcome to the Pinder Report. Dean.
Pinder Report. Village Honda.
Start with Oliver Shillington, fellas. He's getting a little nod for his return to hockey. 609 days between NHL contests, and he's one of the finalists of the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy. Freddie Anderson coming back from his blood clot injury, and Connor Ingram coming back from goaltending shittiness, all making the. I don't know what he came back from, to be honest. Jesus. But look at this trophy. It looks like there's flames coming out of it. It's built for Shillington, fellas. Look at this.
Well, there you go.
Fire.
Attaboy, Shilly. Good luck to you, bud.
Tip of the cap to Oliver Shillington. There were many days in here we talked about maybe it'll never happen again. If we had to peg it, there was many times it would be, yeah, we'd be happy with a coin toss. It doesn't feel like it's a coin toss.
Well, and we know you like pegging.
Pegging. So good luck to Oliver. AHL Wranglers. They're busy this weekend. Friday, Sunday home set to open their best of 5 with the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Here's the Wranglers tweet. Our boy Wolfie, 86 saves on 89 shots. It's a .966 save percentage that got them through the play-in type of round, the best of 3, and into this matchup with the top-seeded Firebirds. It's all about Wolf, fella. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, Dean. They don't lie.
It's impressive stuff.
Game 150, 1.5.
9.66 save percentage. Decent.
Yeah. What would a good year for Dustin Wolf look like next year, Rhett?
Like really good? Like really, really good, or just good?
Tell me about a season that you'd be like, oh, this is great news for the
He would meet your expectations for a first year.
He plays over half the games. Goals against has to have. He's got to win half of those. Goals against around 9. Or goal save percentage around 9. 9. And goals against. What do I?
Kind even of a team stat in a way too, right? Like, yeah. Like look at Markstrom's numbers pre and post getting rid of your best defense pairing.
Okay, to simplify it, he's got to play more than half the games. He's got to play 50 games.
Play more than half and play well.
50 games and win half of them.
What about this? What if Dustin Wolf established himself as your number 1 goalie next year?
That'll work just fine, Ryan.
So how would that? Again, that's kind of
better than the other guy.
50,
and he's our guy that gives us the best chance to win, and we feel like we'll run our number 1 out against yours. We like our chances of him outplaying.
So what measuring?
How about this?
Are you using
in the top?
Well, and this is kind of the baked in difficulty of the question. Like if Miromanov's your 3rd best defenseman next year, Dustin Wolf's going to be an interstate highway with the amount of rubber.
That's a good point. This is something we're going to have to monitor and dig into, and probably call Conroy if he's not listening to discuss.
Let him know that there's some availability in the top 4 in this blue line.
Yeah,
Oliver Shillington may indeed be back on a friendly deal and be awesome, but he isn't signed yet. That's not done.
Dustin Wolf is a young man that needs to have some sort of cast about him that can contribute to the game.
He doesn't need the Hanley, Solovyov, Pahal,
Miromanov,
Grushnikov, Poirier minutes in front of him.
That's a goalie camp.
That's goalie camp.
If you want that, you go to goalie camp with some pylons and have guys taking shots and working on skills and stuff. You don't want that over.
And so I was thinking it's going to be really hard to put numbers next to Dustin Wolf and be like, look how great he is, unless they give themselves an NHL blue line. How many for sure NHLers do they have under contract right now on the blue line?
See, I didn't think that deep. You've got me.
But the other fly in the ointment, I suppose, is what about the guy that wears 25?
Yeah, and is he here? Is he not? I don't know.
Is he here? Is he going to be happy with Wolf playing 50 games?
I am not in. I'm under the assumption he's leaving.
Yeah, and even if he starts here next year, if Wolf's on track to play 50, he's gone at the deadline to be my guest.
Yeah.
Like if Wolf can say I'm a number one in this league, and the team around me might not be great, but I'm giving you a chance to win every night, you absolutely have to move Markstrom. Like
Because the conversation even goes beyond that, right? You have to give him the chance. It can't just be 1 year. Well, we don't think you're a number one, I guess, based on 1 year. You've drafted him and developed him. He's been playing, and there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be some failures. There's going to be times where you're like, I don't think this guy can do it at all. And that's just how it is with young goalies. I don't think it's going to be that simple.
I agree.
Comes in and that's a 900 save percentage. And man, this guy took over, and look at this guy. He's a top 10 goalie in the NHL.
At least he's been groomed. Last year in Buffalo, they threw Devin Levi
right from college.
They're thinking, oh yeah, he was really good in college. It's guaranteed to just seamless. We're going to.
And the pedigree is phenomenal. And it is, development is not a straight line, but the resume is impressive. WHL goalie of the year, WHL goalie of the year, AHL goalie of the year, AHL goalie of the year, AHL MVP. Those are his last 4 years. And then this year, back and forth between the two, better numbers than Markstrom after the trade deadline when you just whacked your blue line and games, became more difficult to play net in. And now he's got a chance to reestablish that he's too good for the American League in the playoffs, and through 2 games, a 966. It's a huge storyline when you want to talk about the timeline of a rebuild. If Dustin Wolf's a top 10 goalie in the league, it changes everything. If he's a guy that can play in a platoon, there's a huge gap there.
Yeah. I know it is. It's going to be one of the hardest things to wrap your head around, because like you said, okay, so the goalie is X, but what's X playing behind?
Yeah.
And what spots is X in? Mm-hmm. Quality of scoring chances and shots on goal, and he's got a bit of a tweak in his groin for 5 games, so he didn't play well there. It's going to be hard from the outside.
Yeah.
To just watch, and
you're going to have to get into the nerd numbers of expected goals and be like, wow, you led 4, but the expected goals were 6. So you actually and that's harder for, I think.
We're good at that though.
Fans.
Love that stuff.
We're very ready and understanding of.
I think you could build a case. The best game a goalie played in hockey this year was Jacob Markstrom in a 1-0 shutout of the Chicago Blackhawks when he had 6 breakaways in the first half of the game alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's just the environment's dog shit for a goalie. And maybe they go add 2 veteran defensemen, or Chris Tanev says, I loved Calgary, and now that I got my ring in Dallas, I'm coming home. But right now, it is not an NHL blue line.
Retro, do you think Markstrom soured to the point that it's over, or is it the Flames' necessity?
I don't think it's a soured. I just think I don't think he came here to do a rebuild. I think he wants to win. I think he likes the city. It didn't go as planned, and it's time to move on.
And now Ducani's perspective. Probably really liked the player. Thought he was a good fit here. Can turn him into younger assets.
It's the
best for both.
If we can get the right assets in return, right. Like that's always the assumption that you're going to get the right. I don't think they give him away for nothing.
No,
it makes the most sense. And you throw in Wolf, you have a goaltender in your system who you need to see is he NHL ready, or is he an NHL caliber, high caliber? What is he?
Yeah.
So all the pieces are there. It all makes a lot of sense.
All the arrows point to moving him this summer. And if the offers are shit, or Markstrom says, look, there's one team I want to go to, and that becomes difficult. Okay. You can take him into the season and readdress ahead of the deadline.
All figured out. If Conroy would just Lindholm, Colorado, Bowen Byron in return.
Yeah.
Markstrom, Toronto, Marner.
Just get out of the damn sauna and return your calls in Finland.
How hard is this? Like we're immediately right back at the top.
Now, is there any concern that Marner's deal, it's almost over? Do you want to be trading Markstrom for a player because you're not winning right away? And then if he's
you might win if you had Bowen Byram and Marner coming in. Why can't
Byram's gone? You can't make that deal. I don't think that's it.
But if he's saying he would have made that deal,
I would have made the deal.
If it was there, yeah.
Well, I got young wingers coming in. I got Marner.
Rhett said it was good.
Rhett knows, Ryan. I mean, do the Lindholm for Byram deal, get that done, and then So you didn't like the New
Hiram
Jersey
for a
deal?
rental would be whoa. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, he got traded for Middlestat, guys.
He was not a rental and a good young player, albeit with a rough couple of years. Like he's finally turned into what we thought he'd be. Looks good in the playoffs for Colorado, Red. I'll say that. Anyway, yeah, I think that draft might be a bit of a timeline as well too. If there's like LA is gonna whatever they do at GM, and I don't think Rob Blake should go, but it's a possibility. Like they have to upgrade net mining. You're in the same division as the Oilers. You've got to do that. There's going to be other teams heartbroken by net mining. I don't know that Jersey believes they've solved their problems. Other teams are going to get let down by net mining. Ahead of the draft might be a really, really, I mean, it's a natural spot for huge trades in this league, right?
Jeez. Like Winnipeg, who has a Vezina nominee, got let down by their goaltending. I mean,
More on that in a moment. Yeah. What happened last night? I'm sure something happened in Edmonton. Not too sure. Let's take a look and see some photographic evidence. Yeah. Okay. There's some. Who's that super fan for the Kings? The actor guy, funny, haha. Lots of blow. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
What is it?
There's a picture of him, I think, as well. Looks a little different here, but there he is.
Oh, jeez.
Kings are done.
Poor Will. He always has good seats right in the glass. It's true.
Yeah, and he had that's a fancy European jersey. He's got the Skoda on the shoulder.
White.
Yeah. He's cold in LA. You're used to that warm weather. And you know what? We showed you the Patrick Waugh crying Jordan, and we showed you the Connor Hellebuck crying Jordan. We forgot to show you that's our boy Cooch from the All-Star
Kucherov.
game.
Yeah.
When he was dogging it in the skills.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's Ovi Algado. Yeah, sorry, buddy. We're up to speed now. 5 teams have been eliminated.
I saw a tweet. Maybe I can find it here. And you can tell me if it's a shot or because it was John Buccigross from ESPN. Everyone knows Bucci, and he was talking about Ovi and maybe what he should do. He was saying, well, you probably need to dedicate yourself in the off season. Time for Ovi to embrace fitness/nutrition. Drop 15 to 20. He's got 5 months until opening night, 3-4 pounds a month, working his skating, hire a chef and trainer and go all in. Rent ice like Kucherov. Big things can happen with small improvements.
So the guy that was like top 5 in scoring in the second half of the season at the age of 37 needs to go work on his craft a bit.
Well, I don't know.
15 to 20 is absolutely ludicrous, but like 5 to 10, sure.
How do you know?
Nitpicking.
How do you know?
Because like the guy was
with a shirt
the
on?
best scorer in the history of the game and had 3 months where he hasn't looked like
Can be right.
But he's as someone who's getting older. I don't know. Let's take a look at this past season and make a decision. It's a guy in his late 30s.
I think Ovi has a big offseason. I'm definitely with that. I just think it's a little much to suggest he's 15 pounds overweight.
You don't have a clue. Buccigross might know exactly what's going on.
It's John Buccigross. It's Booch.
Booch.
You know more than Booch? You know what's better for Alex
You won't even
Ovechkin.
humbly say no.
I just think the Booch routine's getting a little tired. Tweeting the same shit for 15 years. But like, what did he weigh in his draft year? That's what I would be interested in. When he's 18 years old, what did he weigh?
What the hell's that got to do with it?
Well, because if he was 225 then, he ain't getting down to 220 now when he's 37.
This is again an interesting.
He's listed at 236.
So
to suggest he could play at 215 is a bit much.
Let's say 236. That's the Capitals telling you he's weighing 236.
Yeah, I don't know that. That could be true.
What if he's 240 Gordy? Didn't look like he was getting around all that great at times.
Why was he top 5 in goal scoring in the league the second half of the year? If everything's so broken.
Because he can shoot.
I don't think it's not
if
saying
he
the
loses,
guy's.
Did he score because he was 20 pounds heavier than he needs to be?
The point of the tweet was the pursuit of the Gretzky record.
Yeah.
So this summer, drop some pounds. Go get it.
Yeah, what's insinuated that I don't enjoy
anyway.
is that it sounds like he's suggesting that Ovi just doesn't try in the offseason. And that's like, I think Ovi probably could be in better shape, but isn't bad. That's sort of my feel on it.
There's no one like you.
Thank you, buddy.
There's no one like you.
It's amazing.
Let's take a look in the
amazing.
Pinder file. Oh, there's only one in here. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. We're running low in the Pinder department. We've only got one here. Is there any chance we could get a new shipment? No, sorry.
Fuck. We have to use this hungover one then.
And Retro, you and I have him.
What a treat.
Of all, right? Like, there's one in the world.
You know what else?
Right here.
And you know what else? He actually stopped himself yesterday, so there is no way that is going to happen.
Back-to-back days? Fuck that.
Can't do it back-to-back days. No, he almost did it with the Carlson. He kind of tapped the brakes there at the end.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was a great move. I just think it's like...
You established your point. Move on.
I'm kidding. Let's go. Tonight's games.
Ryan,
Here we
back
are.
to you.
One game's tonight. One non-Flames game, Dean. Let's get at it, shall we?
Right, yeah.
It's the original 6. It's right in the scar tissue. It's Bruins Leafs. It's scar tissue both ways now because the Bruins did lose a 3-1 lead in opening round last year. And, of course, noted fit and in-shape player Ryan Reeves pointed that out before Game 5 that they won in Boston. Back to Toronto where the Leafs have now lost 6 in a row. 6 in a row. No Austin Matthews tonight, friends. 0 Austin Matthews in the Austin Matthews folder for the Leafs and for Sheldon Keefe. They did it in Game 5, but they have to do it again.
Is anyone
Bad illness.
Is anyone oddly cheering for Toronto tonight?
Even if you want to
I
rip
kinda
Toronto
am.
fans' hearts out, you should be cheering for a Toronto win tonight.
Game
Toronto
7.
Boston
Please.
Game 7. Let's go. Come on.
Have to.
4-1 lead in Boston.
Now,
Game 7.
there are some super Leaf honks out there, and I swear there's got to be 50 of this idiot in places like Sarnia and
All over.
like it's too much and it's annoying. And
Boston
it's
Bear. Do they beat it up?
It's the largest hockey market on earth. It's just what it is. And so the crazies are the craziest, and they haven't won shit since 1967. That was before fucking Woodstock. So the crazies are even crazier than other fan bases. This guy lives in Alberta.
John Tavares digging in on his off wing. Zoomed in. Come on, shoot a little trunk. Yeah! Yeah! See you Thursday, Toronto!
He's wearing gloves indoors.
Another beer!
Another beer.
Yep! Yes, sir!
Beer vending machine.
What a team!
It's,
This guy, Wooly!
Wooly.
We ain't ornament yet, Leaf Nation! Cheers, Leaf Nation! To the Buds! Go! Leafs! Go! Yes, sir!
You want to go to the 1 of 1 file?
Woo!
It is, though.
Some of us have friends. Other people live with mannequins.
See, I stay at home.
You
I'm
don't have a
not
setup like
that.
that?
The thing about that is, just immediately it was like,
This guy.
so what you did, obviously, is you got whoever is crazy enough to live with you. You backed up the game. Hey, babe, roll tape. Right? So he had to set up the shot. Or is she just sitting there
10
at
seconds,
all
babe,
times,
hurry.
just filming him? Because it wasn't like it was someone's holding a camera. So then he had to, okay, we're going to shoot it. So back it up and I'll press play. You're recording. Okay, I'll press play. So it's a fabricated thing. Not whatever. But that's a lot of investment. I mean, I spend money on dumb shit from time to time. That's incredible.
Yeah. This is more than ramps and guitar plugs.
He
Yes.
he was on social media. He is flying. Who is that?
That's how my family watches the game.
That's good.
That's DUG and Uncle
Yeah.
Vic. They've-
Uncle Vic.
The Dubois is contagious.
Yeah. But he's flying in for the game. He's taking, I think,
No one cares.
his game-worn
Leafs
Hal
fan,
Gill
you're not
jersey and a
off
Liljegren
you.
helmet, and
Yeah, it's a lot.
Good for you.
man.
Appreciate. Go ahead and
Connor Hellebuyck said some things.
Did he?
Today, the Jets held their end-of-season press availability. We'll let you hear the question, but essentially he's asked, like, hey, how did you feel about your game?
When you look back on the 5 games against Colorado, do you feel like the details were good in your game and the process was where it was supposed to be?
Yeah, you're probably not going to believe when I say I was playing the best hockey in my career, but that's truly how I was feeling. And not only was I playing some of my best hockey, but I was in that zone where you're not thinking, you're just playing. And that's what you seek after. That's a dangerous thing in sports. And to not be able to keep 4 goals off the board, it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. I mean, you got to give them some kudos for what they did, but looking back, I don't know if I even saw half of the pucks go in the net. They did a great job, but for me to not be able to put my foot down on a single game is really heartbreaking because it's not typically how I do things.
And Adam, now that there's
That's a weird goalie talking.
Yeah, goalies are weird, and he's probably the best weird goalie this year. He's going to win the Vezina. It did not go well in round 1, but it was not Connor Hellebuyck let his team down. They all got steamrolled by the Avalanche.
But not to get it too deep, you would probably know if you're a goalie when you're not playing well.
Yep.
When you're getting scored, I was like, I should have had that. That got under my.
So what he's saying is, if he actually wasn't playing well, it might have been 8 a night.
But you've dealt with media before.
Yeah, it's a dumb thing to say.
And probably you should just say, yeah, I wish that had been.
It was honest though. We crushed guys when he was being honest. Because it's a crazy kind of an answer after you got completely shelled for some of the most gaudy numbers in NHL history.
Yeah,
in a 5-game series.
Didn't he go like 30 games without allowing 2 or more than 2? Like it was insane the run he was on middle of the season. The other thing I remember about Hellebuyck, back in 2019, I want to say, Dino, it was the Vegas expansion year. They met in the conference final, and there was a little back and forth between Marc-Andre Fleury and him, and it went right between his ears. And I think he's matured a lot since then, but is one of those, like, sometimes being too honest doesn't help as much as you appreciate the honesty.
Now, I'm drawing a blank. They play the Flames in the bubble in that play-in round prior to round 1, which the Flames win in 5 games.
They had the sliced Achilles.
Is that Talbot?
Because the next series, Talbot, I think, got aerated by Dallas, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's when Jeff Ward took him off, and then
Big Save Dave came in.
Right.
It was 4-0 or whatever. That was
because remember going into that series, and it feels like we say it a lot, and you did it with this Colorado series. Well, with Hellebuyck in net, you give the edge in goaltending to the Jets, and we talked about that. Well, Talbot's been fine, but it's Connor Hellebuyck. He's a Vezina Trophy guy, and he wasn't tremendous in that series either.
After game 1, we said it had Flames Oilers Battle of Alberta vibes too, and it played out the exact same way. You absolutely had Calgary getting the edge with Markstrom over Mike Smith, but the Stars were not close. And in this series, McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen, Nichushkin, all would have been the best Jet by a mile.
And if we said after game 1 of the Jets-Avs series, 7-6, and if we said one goalie is going to settle in and the other one's going to continue to just hemorrhage goals, if you had to put money down, which way were you going? Georgie 5?
Gotta be Georgie 5.
Or Hellebuyck, right?
Yeah, unless you were betting on the longest of odds. Like, of course you'd think it'd be the guy that was losing his grip on the starting job to a rookie named Justus Annunen.
But you know what? And part of that, you can see they're still shell-shocked.
Yes.
The fans, the team, the players, they're still in that. We just couldn't. They just kept coming. It just kept coming. There's cold sweats and lost sleep still for those guys. They don't know what happened. It happened so fast. They were so much better.
Just like Vegas, man. Remember that series in 2019? 5. You kept saying that. 5.
Yeah. And part of that was, what was Vegas? This is a new team, and that you can kind of see it here with Colorado, but man.
Yeah. Happens quick though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Every other day, 7 days, poof. Goes from 1-1 to series over. Let's hear about Rod Brindamore. Someone in the comments said this is done, so I wouldn't worry about Darren Dreger's reporting here, Dean, that suggests this is not done.
I feel bad. I kind of got the guy.
It's all right. Look, there's lots of stuff being said. This is part of the negotiation. It's not done. He is a Hurricane.
Well, read for people that aren't watching.
Rod Brindamore's future as Carolina's coach is up in the air. Recently, a deal seemed close, but it's believed the offer to extend the highly respected coach has been pulled. Sources say Brindamore wants to stay, but may have to test the market if an agreement can't be reached. I will guarantee one thing. If Rod Brindamore gets to market and he starts to take some of these offers he's getting to Tom Dundon, he's going to get whatever he wants from Tom Dundon.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if that's not maybe. I don't think Brindamore's a pitch someone against.
No, I don't think he's going to do that. But if he did, that's how you get your leverage, Rod. That's
The
how you
only
get
thing I
everything
can
you
see
want.
is that Francis phoned him and said, "We'll give you whatever you want. Come on out."
Or if it gets to that point where Brindamore is just like, I've you know what? I've got scruples. I don't need to scrounge for every last penny. I don't want to go through this shit every time a contract comes up. It's in the public and I got to fight for my assistants and we got to scrape he may just be done with it. He's buddies with Francis. There's tons of money there. It's hard to say, but yeah, it's crazy to think.
Yeah, and it might not be
guy
Francis
would leave when
there's track record there.
Both sides have to want it to be done. Money for $1 billion, money is going to stand in the way. It still seems hard to believe it could happen.
Teams that need a coach for next year: Anaheim Ducks. Well,
everyone. What? Stop yourself. And I'm not even hardly joking. Damn, I mean, it's impossible, but there would be teams that fire their coach just to have the chance to get Brindamore.
Yeah, if you're on the fence.
Yeah. And let's say the Bruins collapse against Toronto here. Like, are you just re-upping Jim Montgomery if Rod Brindamore is available? Like, yeah, I think there's 5 guys that probably you wouldn't
have some
fire to get Brindamore. That's about it.
You have some real deep conversations internally if that guy is truly out there.
What about Dubas bringing him to Pittsburgh? You like that, Jack? Brindamore to Pittsburgh, head coach?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Mike Sullivan to the.
He can go to Jersey. I like Sullivan.
Or the Sun. Okay.
He can go to Jersey.
He was to the Sun, and then he was back on Earth. It was a ride there at the end of the season. Frank's got a nice piece up on dailyfaceoff.com, boys. It is a great free agent class. Frank has got your top 50. Goodness. Now, off the top of your head, obviously you got an image there, but there's other guys. Who are the sexy, high-profile free agents that you can think of, fellas? Give me a couple each.
Chris Tanev.
Tanev is like in the teens, if not closer to 20, but yes.
Elias Lindholm.
That is correct. Top 10. He comes in at number 8 on Frank's board.
Stammer
checks in at number 3. Gensel checks in at number 2.
Jake the Snake.
That's a serious free agent there.
Huh.
Number 1 is the guy in the photo. That's Sam Reinhart.
Right. Yeah.
Patty Kane has done wonders adding value to his stock with the season he had and the finish he had in Detroit. He comes in at number 4. And then you've got others like Pavelski, Montour, Shea, Marchessault, Pesci, Duchesne, Teravainen, Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi, like Zadorov, Tanev. It's a seriously good-looking free agent class.
Where does he have? We'll see who gets where does he have Monahan?
Didn't crack the top 20. That's fair. Tough Dog just inside the top 20. Couple interesting names. Dakota Joshua's in there. Jonathan Duran's built up some value again.
Well, there you go.
Check out the article.
How about it? Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Franco. Frank Baum. Let's move. WHL. Oh, no, hang on. First, where are hockey players from, fellas? Yeah, no. Don't be upset.
Oh, he's upset? Hockey players.
You've heard of the Rust Belt and the Bible Belt. There is the hockey belt. Do you know? It kind of is just dancing along the Canada-U.S. border. That's where everyone's from in the NHL in North America. One dude from Alaska, a couple guys in L.A., a couple Floridians, and the rest is just, you can drive to the border in 2 hours. Nerd alert!
A little bit. I'm not sure that I would have seen that and been like, man, I need to share this with the guys.
Yeah. But what about this? Because Rhett should have owned the Saskatoon Blades, didn't, overtime last night, game 4, 2-1 series lead Moose Jaw.
Another OT.
Please.
Kovacevic can't tip it out. It comes down low. Sidorov in tight. Scores!
Yes, kid.
The Saskatoon Blades capitalize on Moose Jaw turnovers. And Igor Sidorov will send the series back to Saskatoon. Tied at 2.
Running back to Saskatoon, Rhett. Running back to Saskatoon.
I am sick to my stomach that I didn't have that on last night. Oh.
Watch this Ellie here. He does the log roll as the celebration. I've never seen this. And I think it's a 50-50. You blow at a shoulder when the guys jump on you doing the log roll. But it's a celly for the ages. Nice little hands in tight. Yeah.
That's Yegor Sidorov, 3rd rounder by Anaheim in last year's draft, had 50 goals and 88 points in 66 games.
Not bad.
Good player.
Ducks got some kids coming, man. They're not there yet, but when it turns, it's going to be good.
How
There
many
you are. There it
points
is.
do we have?
What's that?
How many points?
This year, 50 goals, 88 points in 66.
Bantam had 86 goals.
Oh, wow, I understand. His draft year, 40 goals and 76 points in 53 games.
Yeah, there's a 16-year-old that outscored him in the Western League this year. We're not saying he's an all-star, but yeah, that's just another guy in the Ducks system, right? You know about the 16-year-old? You've heard about him, Retro?
Gavin?
Oh,
yeah.
Crazy stuff. Okay. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
What happened yesterday? Who was a hero?
We don't need another
Not you. I mean, you're always a hero, sure.
Do you need the music?
You played the song, and then there was the other hero song in Arizona.
Thunderdome.
Tops is releasing a Matt Hilton Beekeeper card. It's a limited edition baseball. Threw out the first pitch.
Yeah, I saw some other. I didn't realize that he was brought out to quite the pomp and circumstance that it was. He was like brought out in the back of a convertible. It was a big deal.
Threw out the first pitch. Yeah. Took off his little masky thing. Imagine all those years at B college, Rhett. You know, is anyone ever going to know how much I care about this? Will I ever make it?
You got to put it. Yeah, you got to put in the work to get.
Heroes walk among us. It's true. It's
Every
true.
day. Cavalry FC, big week ahead. Tomorrow at home, we'll host Vancouver FC. Tuesday, it's the Whitecaps. Huh? And we had Mason Trafford join us this morning. You'll hear that conversation at the end of the program as Mason's teeing up an MLS squad at Atco Field next Tuesday. Whitecaps at home. This has got to be a top 3 type game in terms of the caliber of soccer that you're going to be showing Calgarians. Probably the best one since you didn't have that Orlando game here because it was February.
Whitecaps are now like top of the pile in Major League Soccer. So not only are we getting a big brand in Western Canada coming to Calgary to play in our own backyard, but we're getting like a top team. It feels like soccer is here. We're a bit more permanent now.
God, you had a great crowd on Sunday as well.
That's what I mean. Like it's trending that way. And now it feels like, man, already in 3 months' time, we're going to have played Orlando in the Champions Cup. Now we're playing the Whitecaps in the Canada Cup. Like, it feels like these are like big games for our club, for our city. We're talking, again, the Whitecaps, that's a big brand. They're pulling 25,000 people to BC Place. They're here on Tuesday night. Like, that's a cool opportunity if you're from Calgary to be like, grab a ticket down at Atco Field and see this team against your very own Cavalry FC. So what a game if you're a minor soccer player, if you're a soccer fan at all, or even a casual sports fan, like this game's for you, that's for sure.
Not often, not every year, but
you can see there Pinder had the wardrobe change. He had the hat on backwards.
Oh, yeah.
And it now has it. Yeah, see there, that we need that continuity, Ryan.
Jaime had a goal and assist last night, fellas. I know you're interested to hear.
Mason would send him the info.
Did.
What opening goal of the season. Yeah. Opening goal of the season. Then he shanked one wide left, and then he set up a real beauty tap in.
Yeah. Wide left. That's tough in Buffalo. Eh?
What about the big lug? How's he doing?
I don't know. They won their game.
Isn't it a big kind of tournament deal?
It's apparently a big deal.
Is this Philly?
Sweden tonight. They play Sweden. I got people texting me. Call James Hagen's dad. Call Jay Pandolfo. No.
Hagen's kid's going to break Kucherov's record for points at the U18. Holy shit.
What's Pandolfo got to this?
He runs BC or BU.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think he's the head coach.
Huh. I didn't realize Joseph Wall, the goalie, he's
great
BU.
Is he BU as well?
Well, he was Boston. Yeah, I think it's BU or Boston College.
And then
didn't strike me as a guy. Yeah,
they just signed their top prospect goalie from BU, and that's also who was the really high profile goalie that went like him. Okay, let's move. Timmy Nacky, manifest the Millie. Let's go.
We missed Tim Nacky.
Oh, I sent you Tim Nacky, you son of a bitch.
Send it.
Jeez.
Wow. Timmy, he's on the quest for $1 million here.
Holy cow.
What?
Jack? Jeez.
It's Tim. We do him every day. We're in lockstep with Timmy.
I don't have it, Ryan.
Did he just call him a son of a bitch?
Yeah, he did.
That's right.
Holy
He sends me
smokes.
20 videos in 1 minute, and then one slips
this
through
was
the crack,
sent
and I'm a son of a bitch.
Like I always did. Son of a bitch. I take that back.
Can't believe the way you talk to the boss sometimes.
I know. This is Lippy. Okay. He'll have it. We'll close the Pinder Report with Tim Nacky. I think he's back in Kiwi, NZ, whatever they call it.
Did you notice where he was walking around?
It's very green. He was in pastures. Said he missed the smell of cow shit. He's back home.
I think that's horse equestrian. Do you know what equestrian people have?
Horses.
That's right, Dean.
Moolah.
Cheese, cheddar, Jack.
Sheets.
I think he said he had a horse racing family as well. So he's grown up in the countryside with some livestock. You ever get tired of watching people step on brooms and crush themselves in the face, Dean?
Never.
No, I do not, Ryan.
Well, I got a new twist for you. This one's at, I believe this is your tinkering mechanic shop. This is your dream, just to work on cars.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Finish the job. We got to sweep up. Got the big push broom there. Bonk right in the balls. Oh, down man goes. And then. Stuff.
These guys, they went to the security cam to pull the footage, and they're laughing at the poor guy. This guy's at least cleaning up at the end,
Yeah,
day to day with a bruised nut and a face contusion. It's tough. Oh,
Dean, I don't know if Pinder was around. Do you remember when I stuck a shovel or a broom in my shin?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Walk us through how that happened.
I lost my temper.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to see, so I somewhat calmly walked out to the garage and closed the door and then smashed a broom on the ground, and the ricochet right in the
shins hurt.
Right in the shin. Stuck there. Had to pull it out.
It's interesting. We will get mad at objects. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, like the boss.
I'm going to show you, broom. You're gonna get it. And then it stabs you, impales your leg.
People still skateboarding, guys.
Oh yeah.
Did they land any of these tricks? All the videos I see guys getting hurt.
The big thing about it is they're making so much more money now.
Yeah, this is a longboard. This looks like a great idea. A car's pushing him down a hill.
That's how you really.
Oh, is that close?
You gotta trust the driver.
Oh boy. Speed wobbles in now. Yeah, your head was nearly squashed like a grape.
The nice thing is there's a camera on the front of it, so they'd have seen the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just play that at the funeral. People could see you.
How are the palms of your hands?
Not
gone.
Good.
Oh my God.
Not good.
Have you ever wanted to rub them over a cheese grater at 50 kilometers an hour? That's what they're like.
Not just once. Just keep doing it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. The motorbikers, though, they wear helmets. They're a little smarter. This is a big jump here. Let's check it out. Try to clear a house.
Like for Gronk. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
They see me. Look at the height here. Right over the...
Good angle.
That's the part I'm not keen on. The whole, my body's doing flips after I've fallen, and I'm going down a rocky hill.
And didn't just clip it.
No, wasn't close.
Definitely loaded up the back wheel to take some of the sting out of that, and then just got launched. Whew. Again, thanks for videoing this, guys.
From multiple angles.
Helps from the Pinder Report. You moving to Florida still, Rhett? Even with all the
house prices plummeting in Florida, I'm going to be able to afford pretty soon.
Florida man stabs his way into cheaper housing. Here is the quote says, I was today. Oh, well, you can just listen because they say it. Yeah.
I was today years old when I realized that Florida is essentially Jurassic Park.
How long do you think that bastard is? Do you know, 15 feet? Maybe 10?
That's the length of a Civic.
Might even be the length of a Ridgeline. I don't know.
Just out for a stroll.
Yeah, some dude's on the phone just chatting. Yeah, it's normal here at Jurassic Park / Florida. Like, what happens if you just fall asleep in the backyard getting some sun?
He'll come up and nibble on your toes.
You're liable to lose a leg there?
Give me those toes, you.
More snakes, Dean, but you'll like this. It's not a video. It's just a still image. I thought of you because, Boomer's buns. Leave the room for 15 seconds, and the snake collects the burger buns like it's their eggs. Isn't that adorable? Keeping them warm for you, Dean. They'll actually vibrate and shake to keep the eggs at a certain temperature when it cools down. Those buns are going to hatch into...
I'm almost more concerned about why your buns are loose. I mean, you're not keeping those in the bag. They're going to dry out. I don't blame the snake.
I thought of you when I saw this, Dean. I thought it'd make you smile, and you've probably already seen it. And maybe it's even a couple years old, but I just can't stop thinking about how happy this would make you.
So great.
Did you want to show me something?
It is a yellow lab there, Dean, or what are we looking at?
Yeah.
Diving into a pile of leaves bigger than a vehicle.
Let's go.
Oh, they got the dog cam. Down the stairs. Over the porch. Front yard.
Yeah. It does. It makes me very happy.
This dog That's his best one. Full velocity. Oh, double! A double!
So good.
Living his best life.
Yeah.
Loves fall.
Look at the tail. Yeah.
It's a good boy, Dean.
He's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
That is a good boy.
That is nearly it on this cold, un-May-like soup day in Calgary.
That's almost it?
Well, it's a soup day,
Oh,
right?
I see, yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of a soup day. No doubt about it.
Looks nice there, Rhett. Those leaves are there. They're just buds here. Soup?
I had a hot chicken.
This ain't the chicken noodle soup that I ordered, but I'll take it. Soup with a live action ratatouille versus stew a little.
It's a rat-free program. Those are mice.
Is that a bowl
of soup?
There's two of them in there.
Fighting.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, if we got it, we'll go out on Tim Nackey.
Good luck, Tim.
One going to blackjack and betting 10 cents for every Instagram follower I've got. There's over 1.1 million of you in here now and a $111,000 bet coming up today. I'll keep it short and sweet. We win this one, we breach the millie. Ladies and gentlemen, an enormous occasion where on day 81 we have the opportunity to do something that we thought was a mere joke. We can breach the millie, been manifested for some time. Somewhere in Latvia, there is a mother who has breastfed their child to the age of 14. Look at this guy. My God. God, he definitely runs a block of soap in the bath. Operation goes 16's not good versus Jack. Oh, so much money on the line. 1-1-1. Call the fucking police. We will hit, and he must go low. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Please go 3-4-5. Please 3-4-5. No! Oh, no! Oh, that had blackjack as well. We'd never stood a fucking chance. But with that, I will see you all tomorrow where we will have another go and we will be betting even more. And do not forget, go to the link in my bio, sign up to Raised, use code NACKY, and you're in the draw to win 1,000 USD. Oh, what a roller coaster. Fuck.
Yeah, it's tough go, Timmy.
Yeah.
Back-to-back
You're not gonna
blackjacks.
win. If you're going to lose, that's 3 blackjacks in a row.
You couldn't have done 3 blackjacks in a row.
16 against the face.
Oh, just the worst.
You know what? Just take my chips, asshole. Oh, well.
That's your Pinder Report today, do you know?
Damn it. I kind of wasn't feeling it. Were you feeling it today?
It's blackjack.
So they drop at like 4 to 5 p.m. our time. So that was like, I'll watch these before dinner. But I had a bad, after the double blackjack, you just do.
Yeah. When I see them come up, I skip right by them in a hurry because I don't want to see them before we put them on the show.
I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, I know. Village Honda, it's all about I got the Accord and the Civic and the Pilot and the CRV, but it's also the used car. It's a haven for that sort of thing. 500 units inside their dealership group, including the 90 or so on site. It's why Village Honda is your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. Why traipse around town and drive and waste your time and money? Just go to Honda and say, here's what we're looking for, and let them go to work. They are the very best. They're worth the trip. They're located in the Northwest Auto Mall. VillageHonda.com is the website.
I'm going there right now.
Tomorrow on the program, we will go into the Great Clips inbox. You have a question for the show, you can email it in, greatclipsinbox@flamesnation.ca. It's an email. So you can go into your email, your Hotmail, and to Great Clips inbox which is the where is it here? Flamesnation.ca. And then subject line. If you don't put the subject line in, they're probably going to ask you, are you sure you want to leave it empty before they send it? You can say, yeah, bugger off. Or you can put something in there. And then we'll get it. And maybe it's a thought about life, the weather, politics.
Frickin' Nancy.
Or maybe it's about sports or just food or dumb stuff. We'll get to it. We'll dedicate a chunk of the show tomorrow to the Great Clips inbox. That's what we'll do. We'll do some Betway bets. And we'll call it a day. We're going to let all of you just get on with your day. Because I think that's what it is. By now, I think everybody's like, okay, I wish these guys would just wrap it up so I could...
Go ahead.
I can't turn it off. Because it's so captivating and riveting.
Be rude. Turn it off.
Can't turn it off. Got to stay right to the very end. But we'll do our Betway bets. With Betway, you get that free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. Create a new account today, scan the QR code on the screen, and redeem your bonus. Place a bet, no minimum amount required. And if the bet loses, you will get a refund up to $200. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. This offer only available outside of Ontario. Well, there's one game. One game in the National Hockey League. Joseph Woll, I believe he had 28 saves the other night. I'm going to say he makes over 25 and a half of them tonight, minus 110. And I feel like David Pastrnak is due. He leads the Bruins with 15 shots on net. An anytime goal for Pastrnak pays plus 120.
He's also scored in games 2 and 4. And
it would seem like.
Even numbered game.
Yeah.
Another brick in the wall. I will say this game goes to overtime. It was too damn good last time. Way too fun. I like that number, plus 310. Should be close. They haven't really been blowouts here. They've all kind of been there. And I will jump on the pass to goal. Also, I like Wild Bill Nylander to wake up. And if they both score, that's plus 400. So some big game hunting on my bet of the day / bets of the day for Betway.
There you go. Now retro just straight right across. If we're just, let's just call it a money line. Take the odds out of it. Who you got winning this game tonight?
Who do I want? Who do I think's gonna?
Who do you think is gonna win?
Boston.
Who do you want?
Toronto.
Yeah.
And I believe Rhett and I picked the Leafs in this series. Not that our picks mean everything.
I did.
Do you know you had Boston? Because we weren't consensus.
But I thought Boston was gonna win handily 2 nights ago. After the whole, we're arguing on the bench and Matthews leaves after 40. And
Matthews,
blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's almost like they need to play the games before you really know what happens.
No, we were right in December.
Just the December 23rd.
Yeah, we'll
just come and talk to us then.
Yeah,
we'll tell you all about it. Somebody's asking, can we ask questions in the chat? Well, I don't.
Sorry, that's a question.
We don't take questions in the. So questions. I don't really know what to say there. This one came in early on the show today from PD. Hey guys, greetings from Budapest.
Oh.
Temperature here, +20. Premium beer, half-liter, $1.50.
That's a deal right there. I can't afford not to go to Budapest if beer's going to be like that.
I love Germany.
Close. That is actually one of my favorite cities I've ever been to. That place is unbelievable. Hungarians, very cool.
There you go.
Taken over by all these other people. Lots of different culture.
Danny, imagine if Edmonton didn't have the bad start this year. They likely would have won the division, if not the conference, and play a harder opponent than LA. Bad start literally helped, may have benefited them.
Yeah, if you believe Vegas is a lot better than LA or Nashville is, I'm not necessarily there. But I mean, if every team got to erase the 20 games they didn't play well in, I think everyone would have had a better year. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's true, Ryan. I mean, they had a horrendous start, right? I think that
correct.
Is probably accurate.
Ifs and buts, candy and nuts. I don't know.
Yeah. And from Bradbury, if you could lock up Wolf 8 times 5, would you do it?
Oh, God, no. And lock him up to that after he proves he's the number 1 goalie, and it still might be too much.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Goalies don't get cake, man. Like Bob got paid, Carey Price got paid. Everyone's been
Vasilevsky's making 10.
Yeah. And so after that, it's just a big drop. Like Jacob Markstrom came over as a number 1 and a top end guy, $6 million.
Negotiating, like what is he? RFA?
With like you can literally give him a 10% raise. He's got no leverage.
You have to take advantage of leverage when you have it.
And so when you know what he is, by all means, lock him in, right?
Yeah. And if he turns into a dynamite goalie, you're just going to have to be willing and happy to pay for him.
Which you should.
That's where
goalies aren't expensive. Yeah.
You're a top 5, top 10 guy. No worries. We'll pay you. Happy to do it.
Yeah. Like Connor Hellebuyck just signed. He's your Vezina winner. What's he making?
8.5.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think that's what he's making. Somewhere in there. Yeah.
And by the time this guy's close to free agency, the cap will be over 100 million. You're good, baby. Don't worry about it.
There you go. So those are our Betway bets of the day. Only available in outside of Ontario. Don't even try it. Etobicoke. Don't do it.
Don't mess around.
Create a new account, scan the QR code on the screen, redeem the bonus. You place your bet. If it loses, you get a refund of up to $200 to then spin right back in and bet on your favorite sports. Betway, bet the responsible way. Join the action with Betway. We'll have Dregs tomorrow, as mentioned, the Great Clips inbox, and our reaction from a scintillating Game 6 between the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs, and setting up is there Vancouver tomorrow? Vancouver's Nashville.
We got a Vegas Dallas tomorrow too.
I think so.
We do.
Yeah, I think we do. So there you go.
Sure.
That's what's coming up. On our way out, here is the conversation that was again, it's kind of taking away the magic of it. But before the show started today, Ryan had a chance to catch up with Mason Trafford from Cavalry FC. See you, buddies.
As promised, Mason Trafford in studio from Cavalry FC. Big week coming up. It's Thursday today, game day tomorrow, and the Canadian Championship tournament continues on Tuesday. Is the hardest part of your job just explaining to people the regular season versus the tournaments? I know that Like Jack, our producer, the poor guy's been twisted into a pretzel trying to figure out, like, so they had played a game at home, but that wasn't the regular. Like, how much time does this take?
Honestly, that's such a funny point. I think on the home opener, I must have had like 10 conversations. And what's worrisome in a sense is that a lot of the people are like soccer people, like, right? If it's confusing for soccer people, like the casual fan has no hope.
No chance. Yeah.
But I guess like the elevator pitch version is that Canadian Premier League regular season runs April to October. That's your bread and butter.
Yep.
If you qualify as a top 4 team in that league, you go to the playoffs.
Yep.
I think that's pretty basic.
That makes sense.
That's
We
like
can
hockey,
understand regular season and
right?
playoffs. Absolutely. Yeah.
What gets confusing though is there's 2 other things that can happen. CONCACAF Champions Cup, which Cavalry FC played in February.
That was the Orlando City 2-legged event. You played one in Victoria, you hosted them, then you went down to Orlando.
Yeah. That happens if you win the league, if you win the playoffs, or if you win the Canadian Championship.
Right.
So Canada as a nation, not as a league, Canada as a nation gets 3 berths into that. There's 27 teams in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. That's international play.
Sure.
The last thing and one of the berths is this Canadian Championship. So that is all the teams in Canada from Major League Soccer, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, all the Canadian Premier League teams. And then even, which it's kind of cool because even some men's league teams,
they get to start early.
They get to qualify, and there might be 1 or 2. Again, TSS Rovers played Pacific out in Victoria last night, and they took them to Pens.
Really?
Yeah, and Pacific won. So it's basically, you know, if you know that the FA Cup is in England, it's the same
that's
thing
the
as
big
that.
comp. And I think,
yeah.
Well, if you're a hardcore soccer fan, you understand these domestic tournaments. If you're a casual one, you might understand the FA Cup, but this idea that all these different leagues in England, you start with the bottom ones and everyone plays everyone until there's 2 teams left, and that's the winner of England. It doesn't mean you win the Premier League, but you'll have a championship division, first division, second division teams. We'll have a swipe at a Premier League squad if things go well.
Exactly, and no team outside of the MLS. I mean, we were only born in 2019, but no team outside of the MLS has ever won that tournament.
But there's twice that CPL teams have beaten MLS teams. So we saw Pacific beat the Whitecaps a couple of years ago in Victoria, and that was nuts, apparently.
Yeah.
And that was like rock bottom for the Whitecaps. And I think they turned over coaching staff after that.
Yeah.
And you guys in year 1 in 2019, you guys beat the Whitecaps in your first year. I don't even know if there was a roof on the grandstand yet. It was early.
No, yeah, that was wild, right? I think it was 0-0 at home, and then now that we're into the quarterfinals of this tournament, which is what we're playing on Tuesday night, May 7th against the Whitecaps, it's home and away. So we'll play Whitecaps. We'll be here on Tuesday night, and then we go to BC Place in Vancouver on the 21st of May.
Yeah, a couple weeks
And in 2019, it was, I think we tied at home, and then we won 2-1.
Who's the big defender that's in Poland? He had the header that won it there, I think.
Yeah, that's local boy. He lives down the road, actually, Dominik Zator.
Zator.
Yeah, he's playing in Poland now in the top league. He's had a few national team appearances since then. That was kind of his coming out party, right?
Yeah.
He was like,
he scored in the snow in the opener,
and
then in that game in Vancouver, that was like, holy
took
shit.
the league by storm.
It beat the MLS team.
Yeah, so we're excited. Honestly, we're excited for that because this year the Whitecaps are coming to town. We earned that with our win against the other Vancouver team a couple of weeks ago. But Whitecaps are now, like you said, rock bottom earlier. Like Whitecaps are now like legitimate MLS Cup contenders. Yeah, like they're like top of the pile in Major League Soccer. So not only are we getting a big brand in Western Canada coming to Calgary to play in our own backyard, but we're getting like a top team. And it's going to be, I think it's just like, what a game. If you're a minor soccer player, if you're a soccer fan at all, or even a casual sports fan, like this game's for you. That's for sure.
Yeah. So where would you put it amongst the, I guess if you said all the games you played 5 years into this league, I guess this is year 6. So you're early into year 6. Whitecaps at home. This has got to be a top 3 type game in terms of like the caliber of soccer that you're going to be showing Calgary. It's probably the best one since you didn't have that Orlando game here because it was February.
Yeah, I think it's up there for sure, right? We played them in 2022 here, and then the 2019 series was such a big one just because it was like Cavalry was just launching.
Year one.
But I'd say this is big because, again, we've had our Champions Cup run. We lost to Orlando, but it feels like soccer is here. We're a bit more permanent now.
God, you had a great crowd on Sunday as well.
Good crowd. Yeah,
the crowd 4,500.
Yeah, it was big. It was big. It was close to a sellout. So that's what I mean. Like it's trending that way. And now it feels like, man, already in 3 months' time, we're going to have played Orlando in the Champions Cup. Now we're playing the Whitecaps in the Canada Cup. Like it feels like these are like big games for our club, for our city. We're talking again, the Whitecaps is a big brand. They're pulling 25,000 people to BC Place. They're here on Tuesday night. Like that's a cool opportunity if you're from Calgary to be like, grab a ticket down at Atco Field and see and see this team against your very own Cavalry FC. So I'd put it top three for sure.
And there's good Calgary storylines on this Whitecaps team. Sam Adekube, the brother of Elijah, who played for your squad for a few years there.
Yeah.
He was on the men's national team at the World Cup in Qatar last winter, whatever it was. And he went from Turkey back to MLS, and where he's playing for the Whitecaps. That's a Calgary kid. We raise money with Kids Sport with a lot of the events we do outside of the studio. He was a kid that played soccer because of Kids Sport growing up in Calgary, and now he's on our men's national team and play for the Whitecaps.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's so cool. Like I'm sitting in the war room the other day looking at storylines for this matchup. Not only is it just like an incredible soccer game that's going to happen on Tuesday night, but you've got the Sam Adekugbe story. He's a real star now of Calgary, right? Like played in the World Cup, that iconic jump into the snowbank up at Edmonton in November that kind of went viral. That was him. Came through minor soccer. You also have like sort of like these like disciples of Tommy Wheeldon Jr., right?
Okay.
We've got all of our players that came through Calgary minor soccer on Cavalry. You've got a Sam Adekugbe that kind of came through Foothills and all that stuff. So there's also the storyline that's, a little bit more obscure, but on May 4th, so in 2 days' time, it will be exactly 5 years since we kicked off that snow game on May 4th, 2019, our first ever match.
Yeah.
So there's it's a culmination of a bunch of stuff happening here. And then I think the celebration for me, at least, and hopefully for everybody in the city is like, hopefully we don't have freaking snow out like this, but even regardless, it'd be fun. It's going to be fun to have the Vancouver Whitecaps and their star power here on Tuesday night, and we're excited for that.
You also have a game tomorrow night. How's the regular season gone in your mind? You got 2 draws and a loss. I think you've played pretty well, but the points haven't sort of shown that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can call it a rip roar and start by any means with that record. We're used to winning games, but this happened last year, right? I think last year, we start 7 draws? And everybody, the sky was falling. Everybody was panicked. Everybody was, what's going on? We ended up winning the league by 13 points. So, it's the start of a new year after a longer off season. And, we have to start the first 2 games on the road. So no excuses. There's a few reasons. I think
it's 3 games.
Yeah, it's 3 games. So I don't think anybody's really worried about it internally in our camp. Let's get our feet back under us on Friday. We do play tomorrow against Vancouver FC, quick turnaround, and then we host the other Vancouver Whitecaps. So it's a bit of a West Coast stint here for us.
No kidding.
With Vancouver FC, the new CPL team, Friday night, and then Vancouver Whitecaps Tuesday night.
Finally, what's going on with renovation and construction? I've been to the 2 home games thus far. That pavilion that you come out of the ticketing area and walk into, what are you building, or is it top secret? Because it's position A. Whatever's going there, it's gonna be awesome, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good question. It's not top secret. Next year is the Spruce Meadows 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
and our ownership group, Linda, everybody's really excited about that. It's a huge deal, obviously, celebrating that milestone. And there's a number of capital improvement projects happening around Spruce Meadow. There's a new restaurant being built, 3 floors. It's really cool. That area right there in the heart of like Cavalry FC land is going to be a brand new stage, sort of like a wicked sitting area. I think it's slated for early to mid-June to be finished.
So live music, hang around, grab a beer, watch people pour in for the game.
Exactly. If our venue, again, I'm biased obviously, but if our venue wasn't already cool enough, I think people in June are going to be like, you're going to be sipping those Carlsbergs out there and, having a good time, because it is going to be really nice in the summer, and the venue is going to look absolutely beautiful. It looked great already for the home opener. It's exciting times.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Hopefully a huge crowd on Tuesday for the Whitecaps, and people wearing their toques, because I'm sure you have Cavalry toques for tomorrow night's game.
There's some new merch dropping. Yeah, there's some new stuff coming.
That new kit too.
I owe you one.
Right here. We want to put that new kit.
Yeah, no, we'll see you guys there. There is some cool new merch dropping actually too, so it'll be on display.
Congrats on the continued growth, and it should be fun on Tuesday against the Whitecaps here in Calgary.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Mace.
Yeah, thanks, guys.